I'm so excited to be here with you today, creating a lupus-friendly lunch option for you. This is a chickpea salad sandwich. This is such a beneficial lunch option when you have lupus because not only is it going to help protect your heart, it also helps to protect your kidneys and your bones too. So let's get started. We have a couple ingredients here. We have our chickpeas, which you can see. Chickpeas are a great plant-based protein option when you have lupus. They can help to protect your kidneys and also help to control your blood pressure and cholesterol better, which is so important when you have lupus. We also have some vegetables here. We have onions and celery, and this is going to add a nice crunch to your chickpea salad sandwich, as well as some good nutrients like potassium and fiber, which are extra important for blood pressure control and cholesterol as well. So as you can see, we are making a nice balanced meal that is going to give us lots of good nutrients and protect so many parts of our body. Because when you have lupus, you might see that your heart or your kidneys are affected. So we are making this balanced lunch to help protect those organs for you. And I see a question in the chat: how do I make plant-based meals actually taste good? This is a tricky one sometimes. So I like to suggest adding lots of flavor. That's why I have some great spices here: black pepper, garlic powder, dill, parsley, and then I have some herbs with my chives to add more flavor. And then always adding some fats too. This makes it taste even better. We have some mayonnaise and we have some walnuts for our omega-3s, which is so important for an anti-inflammatory way of eating when you have lupus. So let's get started. We have our chickpeas here, which have been soaked and they've also been rinsed. And this can sometimes help to get rid of extra sodium. And sometimes when you have lupus, you might need to limit your sodium intake. So I use these chickpeas here. This is Whole Foods brand, but you can use any chickpeas that you like. This also is a low sodium option, which is great for managing lupus. And this has about 10 milligrams of sodium in it. That is pretty awesome. So this leaves you some room to add some sodium in the form of maybe your fats or your seasonings to give it a little more flavor too. One thing I like to do with the chickpeas is to actually mash them, but I don't mash all of them. I mash about half of them to give it a nice texture, so we have a little creamy, a little crunchy, and that helps make for a really yummy sandwich. So what you can do is you can actually rinse your chickpeas in a colander, place them in a shallow bowl, and then you will smash your chickpeas, again about half of them. And then once you've done that, you can move on to dice your celery and your onions. And as you can see, these chickpeas almost resemble kind of like a tuna-like texture. I know it's not exactly tuna, but that's kind of what we're going for. Kind of a lupus-friendly take on a tuna or chickpea or chicken salad sandwich. So this helps to give us some more plant-based options and more fiber, which is always recommended for those with lupus. So as you can see here, we have some of our mashed chickpeas, and then we'll leave about half of them whole. And so what we'll do is we'll kind of mix that all together, and we have some nice texture here. All right, beautiful. And then what we can do is kind of get our veggies ready to add. And I really like recommending using whatever veggies you enjoy. So we'll move our chickpeas aside here. And you can use celery, onions. I also sometimes use cucumbers as a nice crunch. You could use green peppers, cherry tomatoes, whatever you enjoy. Because the key here with lupus is to eat vegetables to help protect your heart, your kidneys, your overall health, but you should be able to enjoy whatever veggies you like, right? We don't want to force ourselves to eat veggies that we don't enjoy. So we're gonna chop up our onions here, whatever size you like. And then we'll add that to our chickpea mixture. And then we're also going to use some celery for crunch and veggies. And so you can kind of play around here, like I said, and add whatever veggies you like. And for a whole can of chickpeas, I like to add about 1/4 of an onion and about 4 celery stalks. Okay, so while we are cutting our celery here, let's talk a little bit about how to protect your heart with lupus. Your heart is one of those organs that can be damaged when you have lupus. So we want to make sure that we are eating a heart healthy diet. And we can do that by doing a couple things. Eating a more plant-based diet, getting in lots of fiber like we have with our chickpeas here. We can also do that by getting in lots of healthy fats, which we're going to add next. And as you can see, I am just kind of chopping these stalks of celery. This is going to add a beautiful crunch and texture. And if you don't like celery, that's okay. You don't have to add it. I grew up eating celery so much because my mom loves it. So it's one of my favorite veggies, but my husband, he doesn't love it so much. So he might add something like carrots or bell peppers or cucumbers. All right, so when we're thinking about these healthy fats, we might think about things like olive oil, avocado oil. You can also find healthy fats in things like mayonnaise. Usually you'll find that mayonnaise is made with things like some eggs and canola oil or avocado oil. You can definitely get some healthy fats from these things, but you'll also find healthy fats in foods like a fatty fish, salmon, or what we're going to add to our chickpea salad today, which is walnuts. And I mentioned an anti-inflammatory diet. This can be really helpful when you have lupus to help reduce inflammation, protect your organs, protect your overall health. And when it comes to an anti-inflammatory diet, omega-3 fatty acids are so important. And this is because those omega-3s contain really heart healthy fats. And so we can find that in walnuts. You can also find that in seeds. So let's add our celery here to our chickpeas. This looks beautiful. And if you're thinking, well, I don't know, I really like my tuna, I really like my chicken salad, I'm going to tell you, give it a try. We're kind of making it very similar to how we would make a tuna or chicken salad, so you might like it. You might surprise yourself. All right, so we're going to add some mayo here. I like to add about 2 tablespoons, and then this is where you can play around a little bit. You can always add a little bit more if you feel like you need it. You could also swap the mayo out for avocado. Avocado is a great healthy fat option for an anti-inflammatory lupus-friendly diet, and it has potassium and fiber, which is great for heart health too. So as you can see here, this is resembling a nice little salad that we can pop on some bread and make a sandwich out of it, right? That is the goal here. A nice plant-based lupus-friendly lunch. All right. Look at that, and we got that nice texture. All right, so our mayo is kind of evenly distributed here. We're going to move this aside. And next we're going to add our second healthy fat option, which are these walnuts for omega-3s, right? For that anti-inflammatory aspect. So I like to chop these a little bit because my pieces are a little big. You could also put them in a Ziploc bag and kind of crush them with like a mallet or, you know, a meat tenderizer or something like that. But this is also going to add that crunch factor. And if you've ever had like a Waldorf chicken salad, that's kind of what we're playing off of right now. We could always add some grapes, but I also sometimes add blueberries. And fruit is a great option when you have lupus, so try and get it in when you can, maybe on the side with your lunch, or in your meal, whatever you're having. All right, We're gonna add that crunch factor here. Beautiful. And this is also gonna help us stay really full and satisfied when we have lupus, because sometimes you might feel like you have to cut out certain foods and you might be feeling hungry all the time. But this meal is really satisfying because of all the components that it has in it. All right. Next, we're actually going to add our chives, and this is going to add some nice color, some beautiful flavor here. And as you can see, I just chopped them up pretty finely, and now I'm going to sprinkle them on here, stir them in. Love that smell. And then we're also going to add some parsley. And I have my teaspoon measurement here. So I like to do 1 teaspoon of my herbs. So I'll do parsley and dill. We're packing in the flavor here. And you can switch it up too. If you like other herbs, feel free to play around with it. And then we'll do my favorite seasoning ever, garlic powder. This adds just so much flavor when you are following a lower sodium diet, but you don't need a whole lot. I like to do about 1/4 teaspoon. And same thing for the black pepper. This is a great substitution when you're on a lower sodium diet. It adds that punch, again, about 1/4 teaspoon. All right. We have all of our lovely seasonings and components here. So now we are gonna just mix that up. Beautiful. And see, maybe you're making a lupus friendly meal for a family member, maybe you're a caregiver for a loved one, and maybe they're not open to trying plant-based options, or they're a little hesitant. That's okay. This could be a nice transition meal for you to try with them. And maybe you give them half of a chicken salad sandwich and half of a chickpea salad sandwich, and see how they like it. Some of the people I work with also like to add what's called nori, which is a seaweed type of flavor, and that can sometimes make it taste a little more like tuna salad if you like that type of sandwich. So look at all this beautiful texture. We got lots of seasonings and flavor in here. The colors are vibrant. And so we have our easy chickpea salad now with our healthy fats. Okay. And so next we are going to put this on one of my favorite bread options. This is Dave's Killer Bread. I love using this bread because it has whole grains in it, which is so important for keeping your heart healthy, controlling blood sugars with lupus. All right, so next we are going to take our measuring cup, and this makes about 4 to 6 servings depending on how big your bread is, how big of a sandwich you want. And so I like to use 1/4 cup on each slice of bread. Okay. There we go. Beautiful. And then sometimes I'll have it as like an open face sandwich like this. Okay. And then sometimes I'll just kind of close it shut there. And then let's see this. You can add lettuce, you can add sliced tomato, onion, whatever you like. But see, we have a beautiful chickpea salad sandwich there. Amazing, yummy. And this is going to keep you satisfied and full and keep you living a lifestyle that is going to benefit all of your organs when you have lupus.